Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Council of African Professionals Father's Day event, themed Fathers, Families, and the Future. I mean, this is not just an excellent theme because it touches men, but this is a theme that touches three major areas that matter deeply to professionals and fathers. We're going to be looking at, the impact of AI on our careers, on our families, and on our mental health. And coincidentally, June happens to be the International Mental Health Month for Men. So coinciding with Father's Day, but again, that's what we'll be discussing today. Good evening again, everyone. I will set the program in motion in just 1 minute. Okay. All right, this is just like a snapshot of what the day will look like, but we'll go right into the national anthem. We always start with that, so we'll start with the national anthem, after which we'll take the land acknowledgement and we will proceed from there. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. I will proceed to read the land acknowledgement. All right. The Council of African Professionals acknowledges that our office in Burlington is situated upon the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. We recognize that Burlington is covered by Treaty 14, also known as the Head of the Lake Purchase. As an organization dedicated to the excellence and advancement of the African diaspora, we recognize the deep parallels between the displacement of indigenous peoples and the forced migration and systematic exclusion faced by Black communities. We honor the enduring presence of all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples, and we value their spiritual and cultural connections to this land. We also celebrate the long-standing history of Black Canadians, whose presence in Ontario dates back centuries, from the early settlers and freedom seekers who found refuge in this region to the most modern professionals of the African diaspora. Black Canadians have been integral to the economic and social fabric of Burlington and beyond. CAP commits to the ongoing work of reconciliation and equity We strive to build a professional future that honors the land we occupy and supports the prosperity of both indigenous and Black communities through solidarity, justice, and mutual respect. Thank you. All right, we'll play a short video about CAP, and then we will continue with the program.
Imagine arriving in a new country with talent, ambition, and dreams, but no community, no connections, and no roadmap to success. For many African immigrants, international students, and young professionals, that was the reality.
Every great movement begins with an idea that inspires purpose, a purpose that inspires action, and an action that transforms lives. For us, that journey began in 2018 with the founding of Council of Nigerian Professionals, CNP.
Built on the principles of connection, mentorship, leadership, and community, CNP was created to bring professionals together, support newcomers, celebrate excellence, and help the future generation succeed. What started as a vision quickly became a movement. Over the years, CNP has impacted thousands of lives through mentorship, professional development, youth empowerment, scholarships, community engagement, and leadership initiatives. Our flagship event, Power of Inclusion, has grown into a respected platform for dialogue, leadership, and social impact, reaching more than 65,000 people.
As our community expanded, so did our vision. In 2023, we launched Council of African Professionals, CAP, to bring together professionals from across Africa and the diaspora under one umbrella. Today, CNP continues to create opportunities through mentorship, scholarships, language education, networking, leadership, development, cultural celebration, and community engagement. We have supported over 5,500 mentees and reached over 2,500 students, given over 130 bursaries. But our greatest achievement is not found in numbers. It is found in lives transformed, young people discovering their potential, professionals finding new opportunities, families receiving support, and leaders stepping forward to serve. The journey continues through education, innovation, collaboration, leadership, because we believe that when communities come together, possibilities become realities. As I often say, we must not wait for leadership. We must become the leadership. The story of CAP is not the story of one person. It is the story of a community, a story of service, a story of resilience, a story of impact, and the best chapters are still being written.
So this is an interesting observation I've made. When immigrants, especially from African and Caribbean countries, migrate to Canada, they are generally educated, well educated, very skilled, extremely hardworking. So the question becomes, why don't they excel in their choosing careers? And the answer is quite simple. They don't have the network, they don't have the knowledge, they don't have people around them to support their career growth or their business objectives. And this is why I think the Council of African Professionals is essential for everybody. It's a platform where you don't just get the people integrated, you get engineers, doctors, nurses, bankers, people of every field who come together and just discuss their challenges. And by listening to them, you can adapt, you can relate, they can help you also in your progression. And I think everybody, new or all immigrant, as well as our children in this country, should join such a platform just to share their own experiences and learn from each other.
Hi everyone, my name is Nicola Odu. I'm graduating from my honors Bachelor of Science in Biomedical Sciences, and I'm on track to be doing my master's this year. So I have some experience with CNP. Specifically, I was the first place winner of the Black History Month essay writing competition in 2021, and I also competed the year before as well. This organization has been really inspiring for me and really important because it helped me really start to critically think about Black rights and Black individuals and how they really operate in systems in Canada and how those systems affect us specifically. And that also inspired my research for my master's, where I'll be evaluating Black youth athlete health in Canada. One piece of advice I would give to the youth is to really put yourself out there. Make sure that you're trying in every club, trying in every competition that you can, just to really put yourself out there, and to even show yourself that you deserve to be in these spaces.
Hi, I'm Derek, and I'm excited to be a member and a leader of CAP, Council of African Professionals here in Canada. CAP is a community that brings together professionals of African descent to connect, grow, and lift each other up. Why don't you come along and let's grow together?
As we look to the future, the Council of African Professionals remains committed to creating opportunities, empowering leadership, and building stronger communities across Canada. We would like to sincerely thank our sponsors, partners, volunteers, and supporters for believing in your mission and helping us make a lasting impact.
Why don't you join us and be a pace setter, be a change maker, and let your legacy be known far beyond the who that you are. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's about the organization, the Council of African Professionals. And today it's all about the men. This is why we're here today. And again, the theme for our seminar or event is Impact of AI on Careers, Family, and Mental Health. And we're privileged to have two amazing guest speakers, and I am the moderator, so I'll be moderating this event. I'll be introducing them shortly, and before then, I will quickly run us through upcoming events, both virtual and in-person events of the Council of African Professionals, right? So I'll be fast with this. This is talking about, our teenagers. This is celebration of youth and culture, empowering youths. And the theme here is one story is not enough. We have some amazing youths who are guest panelists here, and they will be, leading this session. We also have another one, a panel discussion about starting university. We have a lot of children are getting to that stage where they are preparing for their universities. They're in grade 10, grade 11, grade 12. And this is another panel session. And the theme here is talking about being future ready, what employers want in today's job market. And, are you to be doing justice to this topic again? So it's like, that introductory video also mentioned, we're a community. So it's all hands on deck. You see the youth, you see the adults, you see everyone, building this vision together. Sometime in July the 14th, we'll be talking about money matters, building strong financial habits for life. And we'll be having our guest speaker also in-house, Mr. Derek Amoanim, who will be leading this conversation. We also have one of our very own, Dr. Ayode Morgan. We call him AY Morgan, and he'll be leading this session on building your personal brand, how to stand out before you speak. And, this is holding on July the 21st at 6 p.m. It's a virtual event. We'll continue to talk about these programs. We have, again, AI is everywhere. You can't do anything now without, if you look at the top 10 trending topics globally, AI is in the lead, right? So At this event, we have a guest speaker, Mr. Somadina Mojeke, on July 28th at 6 p.m. He will be talking about AI, technology, and the future of work. You know, it amazes me when I look at teenagers today and I'm like, what would you like to study? What would you like to be in future? And then they're like, I don't know. And I honestly hope to God they don't ask me, what do you think? Because I honestly don't know, because the future of work is changing so fast, you know, and there's that saying that AI will take all of our jobs, but then I don't think that's true. We'll be unpacking some of that today. I think people who know how to use AI will be the ones that will be employed in the future of work. So please stay tuned, don't miss this. Invite your friends, your loved ones. Mark your calendar. This is an event you do not want to miss. This is December 11th and 12th, and it's called the Platform Canada 2026, where we'll be having voices that shape change, and we'll be celebrating leadership, resilience, and diverse voices. So for this event, we are calling for speakers. If you are a speaker or you know someone who has a voice and using that voice to shape changes wherever they are, their environment, their community, and please contact us and we'll be happy to connect with them. The date again is December 11th and 12th. Coming soon, we have the Council of African Professional Mentoring, and this is coming soon. If you want to know more, please send us an email at caprofessionals.org@gmail.com. caprofessionals.org@gmail.com. Feel free, take a screenshot, take a quick picture, you know, if you like. And we have some ongoing events that are already, you know, in motion. They already started, they are virtual. We have the CAP Language School, where our children have the privilege of learning languages. Right now, we've got 4 languages. We have Igbo, French, Yoruba, and Mandarin. And these classes are free of charge, courtesy of the CAP. So the language school is in session for 4 months, started March 28th, and it holds, I think, every Saturday morning from 12:15 a.m. EST for just 30 minutes, you know. So if you have children that would love to learn your languages, please bring them, let them come and learn. We also have just concluded some events this year, and, you know, we talked about the Future Ready events, what employers really want in today's job market. So this is part 1. We'll be having the second part soon. That's the AI technology event that I spoke about just a while ago. We also had the Mother's Day event, impact of AI on career, family, and mental health. So the ladies don't say, you know, they were left out. They had theirs first. So this is our turn. This is for the men. And we're having the same, you know, topic, no cheating, you know, 50-50, like they say. This was an amazing event hosted by Pastor Mrs. Yetunde Banjo. We also had the International Women's Day event. It was a week-long event, and the theme was Unshakable: Women, Worth, and Well-being in a Pressured World. You know, this was hosted by our very own Lady Abba, who is the president of the Council of African Professionals. And we had Funke Eitayo, a tax expert, who led the conversation around maximizing your 2026 tax refunds. I hope you all got good money, so please let's support CAP with that money. Awesome. We had our Black History event on May 9th. This was in person, and it was an amazing time, I believe. So for upcoming events, this event happened June 20th. It's already also in the past. Still a Black History event, the annual essay competition that the young lady talked about a while ago. That's already happened. We have a bit of small but mighty businesses, you know, businesses in the spotlight. They are partners, they are our friends, they are supporters, CNP. So if you would like to be spotlighted, during any of our events, please send us an email at info@cnpngo.ca, and we'll be happy to discuss with you. We have SDA Business Solutions, Inc. We have Kizo Pixel, for your photography, portraits, events, commercials, any kind of professional retouching. Feel free to send them an email, info@kizopixel.com. The phone number is right here, or follow them on IG at Kizo Optixel. Yeah, that's it. We have Tomilola Ogundipe. This is an insurance professional. So for your insurance needs, please reach out to Tomilola Ogundipe. UDC, Unique Design Collections. I almost, said that wrongly, but I was like, this is design. This is really lovely. So reach out to them if you want any authentic, Canadian brand. They'll be more than happy to help you. If you mention, CAP to them, who knows, you might get a discount. So feel free to patronize them. We have our very own Adejisola Atiba Lady Abba's brand. She's a motivational speaker. Like I said, she's a brand by herself, right? She's a motivational speaker, an EDI speaker, a lifestyle coach, and she's an author. She's written one book, and I think there are many more books, in the pipeline. So to engage with her, you can reach out on these websites or any of our social media handles, and our books are available on Amazon, Kobo, Barnes and Noble, as well as Google Books. Amazing Mind, these are our friends, website development processes. You want to build a website, please feel free to reach out to them. We have the Alcyon Days International Church. That's the bishop, so feel free, you want to worship somewhere, feel free to check them out on their website, or send them an email, or give them a phone call. We have the Abba Digital Studio. If you want to connect with Lady Abba, you can scan this QR code. She's a TED speaker, she's an author, she's a financial planner, digital transformation expert. She was listed amongst the 100 accomplished Black Canadian women in 2024. And as she also got the Queen Elizabeth II Platinum Jubilee Pin, and she's also a COFP Power of One Award recipient. And she is, of course, the founder of the Council of African Professionals as well. We have a few other partners: Alliance Creative Community Event, led by His Royal Highness King Nana Yor Osam I, the African Caribbean Council of Alton, Grandmother's Voice, Seas Center, the Care Foundation, Black Business Edmonton, United Colors of Fashion, NB, ACAO Ottawa, and Nero. So these are our partners. They've been supporting us. And if you want to reach us, please feel free to contact us by our website, www.capngo.ca. If you want to learn more about what we do, our programs, or you can send us an email at capprofessionals.org@gmail. And if you want a copy of our letter, feel free, click on this link, and we will be happy to share our newsletter with you. All right, I am going to stop sharing now, and then we will get into introducing our panelists and guest speakers for tonight. Okay, we know that today, we know that AI is already changing how we work, how we learn, how we communicate, and even how we raise our children. And as fathers, mothers, professionals, and community leaders, the question before us is not whether AI will impact us. It already has. So the real question now is, how do we harness AI wisely while preserving what makes us human? And tonight, I have the privilege of exploring AI's impact on our careers, our families, and our mental health with two amazing guest speakers. The first person I will be introducing is Adebola Banjo, who is an accomplished senior business and IT consultant with the Ontario government, with main responsibility in project management and business systems improvement. He holds a PMP certification and a master's certificate in project management from George Washington University, USA, also with an executive MBA from IASE Business School in Barcelona, Spain. His career began in Nigeria as a software developer at the Kaduna refinery, then moved to NCR Lagos, where he specialized in software engineering and project management for ATMs and financial software support services. He later joined Total Oil Company as the head of IT services. Since migrating to Canada, he has held various roles in project management, business consulting, and relationship management, and he has handled notable projects across Ontario. He's an avid artificial intelligence enthusiast, and that's why he's on this panel tonight. So he's also the pastor of King's Court, a parish of the Redeemed Christian Church of God in Brampton, where he supports the Christian community, serving people of color. He is a husband, father, and his hobbies include cycling and traveling. Please make welcome to our virtual stage, Mr. and Pastor Adebola Banjo. Thank you. Thank you for the virtual ovation. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julius.
Awesome. I also have the privilege of introducing another very, very good gentleman. His name is Yinka Oladimeji, aka Mr. Kizo. Okay, he's a data and analytics leader, currently working as director, consumer digital product and shopping analytics at the Royal Bank of Canada, RBC, where he leads initiatives focused on digital analytics, customer experience, and AI-driven insights. With experience spanning the energy, consulting, retail, and financial services industries, Yinka has led several data and analytics transformation initiatives that help organizations make smarter, data-informed decisions. And prior to RBC, he held various roles at the NNPC, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, worked in data science roles at Canadian Tire Corporation, and served as a technical specialist at Vector Institute for Artificial Intelligence, supporting AI and machine learning initiatives. Yinka holds an MBA from Obafemi Awolowo University and a Master of Management Analytics from Smith School of Business. Beyond this professional work, he is passionate about mentorship, leadership, family, and the responsible use of technology in everyday life. He's happily married and a proud father of 3 boys. He's my senior. I have 2. Please make welcome to the virtual stage, to the microphone. Yinka, thank you. I have the privilege of also introducing one last person. His name is Taiwo Julius. Oh, that sounds like me. Yeah. I am a distinguished change management and HR leader with 2 decades of leadership experience in various fields. I hold a master's degree, an executive MBA from the Western University, from Ivy Business School, Western University of Ontario, and I hold many professional certifications from globally recognized institutions, including ProSci Canada, CPHR Canada, SPHRI in the US, and a lot of other ones. My career spans across North America and Africa, across various industries, and I currently work as the global lead of change, learning, and communication in the IT project management office, and I support, a few locations in North America, in the EU, and in Asia as well. So please welcome me. Thank you. So I have the privilege of moderating this event tonight. I just actually had to cut everybody's bio short because these are achievers in their own right. And I'm going to start this conversation with an icebreaker. And I just dropped that in the chat. It's a very simple question. What area do you think AI will impact the most over the next 5 years? Thank you again to everyone that has joined. But let's make this engaging. What areas do you think AI will impact the most over the next 5 years? Is it the career, family life, education, whatever it is? I would like to see what we think in the chat. If you are driving, please don't chat. We want you to get to your destination safe and sound. So please, if you don't mind, when you have the time, please drop that in the chat. Okay. I'll give it a few seconds and I'll try and keep my eyes on the chat. Okay, so to get us started, somebody talked about, Billy Graham actually gave a very wise quote. He said, the greatest legacy one can pass on is not money or possessions, but a legacy of character and faith. And today, in today's world, being a provider means more than earning a living. And this is, what fathers do. We are often seen as a provider, but again, our job should be, our greatest desire should be, to pass on legacies to our children. And for us to fulfill that calling, we are going to be examining the impact of AI on our careers. We'll look at the impact of AI on family life, and then we'll also look at the impact of AI on our mental health as men. So I'm going to start with a question which is apparent to everyone, and I'll let any of the speakers, either Yinka or Pastor Banjo, pick this up. And the question is very simple. How has AI already changed your profession, or how is AI impacting your profession as we speak?
I think I can go first if Pastor Banjo is. So I'd say I work in the analytics space, and I can tell you that AI has really transformed this discipline in the last couple of years. And normally, analytics is supposed to be very crazy. In fact, like I can tell you, in the last 3, 4, 5 years, I could spend like 5 hours writing several hundreds of lines of codes. But the truth is, AI has transformed analytics from like a discipline focused on producing information into one that is focused on creating more of understanding. Like I said, a couple of years back, my analysts would probably spend time collecting data, cleaning data sets, building dashboards, writing reports. But today, AI can actually generate code, summarize the findings, explain trends, and answer questions like conversationally. We all know about conversational AI. So my role currently increasingly involves like asking better questions. I validate the outputs, ensuring ethical use, and technology is sort of taking over like the more routine work that we do. So yeah, that's what I see right now, and that's what we're experiencing. So.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Do you want to chime in, Pastor Banjo?
Yes. In a nutshell, for me, AI has made me very lazy. So in those days, you go to meeting. After the meeting, you go and develop. If I used to be a headache for me, just go and start writing meeting notes, editing it, sharing it with people, and then they'll come back and tell you something is missing. Now you just switch on AI. AI will just do the meeting notes, like literally 5 minutes after the meeting. You are getting your meeting notes accurately, telling everybody what they said, what they didn't say. You can't deny it. So things like that. And so it's helped with a lot of efficiency. Again, working in the IT section, You can go from meeting notes, you can use your requirements, go from requirements, data stories, and a lot of things that you just keep going in. So with AI, it's helped with efficiency and access to information at a very good level that, ordinarily you will have to do a lot of training. Now just ask some questions and, at an instant, you get answers. So it's really helped professionally. Thank you.
Yeah, again, thanks for sharing. I currently work as a change manager, organizational change manager, and I had a friend ask me recently, was like, dude, how did you survive before AI? Like, those of you doing change management right now are the ones before AI, are the ones that really know change management, because everything I do is AI. Like, so it's AI is actually changing all the professions. And like I said, it's brought in a lot of efficiencies. What used to take weeks and months, those codes you can write in seconds. Before your coffee is done brewing, your codes are ready, right? Awesome. Thanks for sharing. So I'm looking at still on, the impact of AI on our workforce. My question to both of you is this, and before I say that, I would like to just say, when I got to Canada 8 years ago, everybody has said, saying AI, and then I'm like, okay, I want to get into a profession that AI cannot easily, take over, so I didn't want to go into my regular HR, I started thinking, and eventually I landed on, change management, because again, even if we implement any AI, my team does all the communication, all the change management, all the learnings, all the trainings. So it looks like we'll be relevant for a very long time. Now, as fathers, it also means that we are shaping the futures of our children, their career choices, and people that look up to us for leadership. Now, which jobs are most likely to be transformed by AI? Or which jobs, let me rephrase, which jobs are most likely to be transformed rather than eliminated by AI? Not all jobs will be eliminated for sure. And again, my thought process then was, as HR, if I do recruitment with the click of a button, that can happen. If I do benefit administration, click of a button. If I do learning and development, 3, 4, 10 cents in the market. You have different LMS. So I wanted something with a lot of human interface, and that will make me relevant for a very long time. So again, what jobs are most likely to be transformed rather than totally eliminated by AI from your points of view? Okay, I'll start with Yinka.
Okay, all right. Thank you. So, Taiwo, it's always a very.
Sorry, with Yinka's resume, just ask him all the questions, Jai. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Anyway, this is always a very dicey and very sensitive issue in the AI space. So, normally I wouldn't want to use the word eliminate, because it would normally create, tension amongst many people, like panic. So I would stick with the transform, right?
Yeah.
So the truth is, AI, as it stands today, and going forward, is going to transform many jobs. And mostly, I'll say jobs that involve human judgment, context, and relationships will probably would go through some form of transformation, right? So we can talk about teachers, we can talk about doctors, financial advisors, lawyers, product managers, project managers, data scientists, analytics professionals. So technically, I've mentioned almost everybody. So the truth is, these professionals will be more productive and more efficient because of AI. So I don't think AI will probably replace most professionals, right? But I think professionals using AI effectively will outperform like professionals who do not. So just think about the industrial revolutions we're in. I think some people will say in the later part of the fourth industrial revolution, going into the fifth industrial revolution. So we have no choice but to more like enhance whatever we do right now with AI. When electricity and industrialization came, we saw like the shifts in different types of and transformation of different types of jobs, right? We saw the assembly lines come in, and normally people that would do like the manual things, like they had to change what they do. Like if we look maybe sometime in human evolution, there were times that people had horse-drawn carriages, right? Maybe when we're farming, but then farming changed, mechanization came, but farmers were still there, right? So I just feel that the tools that we actually use would actually change, and we're going to become more efficient generally. So if I pick on doctors, for example, maybe doctors like radiologists, if a radiologist is probably looking at x-rays, like he would have normally been relying on how many images he has seen in his life. And I doubt if a doctor would remember like 5,000 different images of different x-rays or MRIs. But with AI, it can run through millions of images and diagnose even better than. So the doctor can actually use it to aid his job, right? He becomes more efficient. We're able to he's able to treat and diagnose diseases faster. So this is the way I see it. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. I'm going to ask the question in another way for Pastor Banjo. What skills will become more valuable in the age of AI?
I would say the kind of skills that are more human related, not just hardcore data. So say, for example, leadership, leadership as a leader, right? There's only so much AI can do. AI cannot create a vision and inspire people to follow the vision, for example, right? So skills like leadership, knowing where you're going, calling people to buy into your vision, communication skills. There's only so much that AI can do in terms of communication, right? I was talking to someone not too long ago, and he was telling me he said, did you ever hear Adolf Hitler speak? And I really didn't, watch any of those videos, right? But he said he was the kind of person that could communicate and carry the whole nation and made them do the things that they didn't even want to do. It was so charismatic. He was able to follow, carry people and stuff like that, right? So, having those kind of skills is what is going to carry people at this point in time, content management, communications, things that have empathy, things that have communications with people that you can, empathy, emotional intelligence, things that require you to go beyond. Say AI can just talk and say, look, from what I see in your chat, you have brain tumor, you're going to die in 6 months, but a human needs to take that and communicate it in a way that will be more empathetic and help a person receive the information and transform their life in a way that will make it work. I hope that helps answer that question.
Yes, thanks. And I like how Yinka started. He said, jobs that have to do with judgment, and even before judgment, there's analysis, right? So anything analytical that you have to maybe bring out your 4-figure table or your scientific calculator or anything, just put it the right prompts, because AI is about using the right prompts, right? Put in the right prompt and you can get, amazing, results in a short time. But of course, you need to do your data cleanup. You need to still put that human touch. And that's what Pastor Banjo was talking about, that, that human touch is always needed. Yes, please go ahead.
Let me just add one more thing. I also noticed that even with the core professions that we do now, um, incorporating AI into some of it will also elongate a person's career. So, for example, a project manager, PMP, that used to be based on Agile and Scrum and things like that, now you can add AI certification to your PMP. Now you have some new professions kind of emerging. We have a prompt engineer, AI machine learning engineer. New professions are also evolving. So while some doors may close as maybe a traditional coder, then you can switch into some different new areas of IT that will also enhance and elongate your career. What I found is that AI is a field leveler. Everybody kind of restarts at the same level. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. So for everyone watching and those that will watch this recording, I promise you, Pastor Banjo is not AI. Even though his video looks like it's flickering in and out, it's just his background. He's not an AI, persona. Is real. Okay. Yinka, do you want to chime into that before I move to my next question, which is also related?
I 100% agree with what Dr. Banjo has said so far. So the truth is, that human part, the skills that should actually become more valuable. I can probably tilt a little bit towards technical sides because I'm a technical person. So I think like I said, prompt engineering, automation, and maybe data literacy, those things will become, they're skills that we have to continue to actually improve on. Then naturally, your human skills, communication, negotiation, leadership skills, those are the skills that actually we should actually hone in on. They'll be very valuable in the next phase. So AI cannot, take those things away.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for sharing. Since you still have the mic, I'll throw this next question your way. How can mid-career professionals remain relevant as technology evolves? And to Pastor Banjo's his last comment, I've been seeing some courses on Instagram. You see Claude for project managers, Claude for accountants, and AI is already entrenching itself in the future of work. Now, how can mid-career professionals remain relevant as technology evolves, knowing fully well that a lot of us are new to Canada, people are still settling in, they're trying to understand corporate Canada, and boom, AI comes, and they're like, okay, what exactly is going on? I was going to say Nibola to Jassy Bye, but how can mid-career professionals continue to remain relevant? And this, because again, as professionals, as immigrants, as men, there is that pressure to perform, right? So how do we continue to stay relevant and catch up with the way technology is evolving these days?
I think, that's a very, very, very fantastic question because there are so many of us who are mid-career professionals. One thing is, mid-career professionals, they all possess something that AI cannot easily replicate. And we all know what that is. It's that level of experience. For example, an average mid-career professional who could say have 15 to 20 years of experience, right? And those are years of accumulated judgments, right? So those things are yours. Then if they want to remain relevant, they should learn at least one AI tool every month. So the truth is, experiment with it, apply it to your own work, teach someone else. When you teach, you learn more, right? It sticks with you. Then they should be curious, right? Do not wait for your employer to train you. For example, organizations, we know they move slowly sometimes. Technology is moving really, really fast. So take ownership of your own upskilling. Spend time every week, maybe like 30 to 1 hour every week, explore a tool, just like I've said earlier, relevant to your work. Then in 6 months, I'm very, very sure you'll see the compounding effect, right? And
Absolutely.
it will always play to your advantage, like wherever you find yourself.
Absolutely. Very, very well said. Pastor Andrew, do you want to chime in before I move to my next question?
The only thing I will just underscore, which Yinka put very nicely, is that in this age of AI, lifelong learning must be part of your lifestyle. You know, in those days, you could get away with, okay, I did my PMP 5 years, 10 years ago, I'm okay, you know, and then just continue to build your career. You know, no, it's not going to work. You know, Yinka said it. You have to look for, what am I learning almost on an everyday basis now? What skill? It could be 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, you know, stuff like that. I recently went for an interview in my office, and one of the questions the gentleman asked me said, so tell us some new things you've learned, like in the last 2 months, for example, just to underscore the fact that there's an expectation that you should have been learning some new things in the last 2 months, you know. So every month, every week, you know, what's new skill? Is it Claude? Is it this? And even the ones that that you thought was new, just give it a week. It's already outdated, and you have to learn something new on top of, you know, something that was really, really new. Like, you know, like Claude is coming out with new versions and new versions and new versions, you know. So how you even, except learning is part of your lifestyle, it's hard to keep up. So make it part of your lifestyle. Thanks.
Yes, since you're already mentioning tools, I'll just add one quick question to that. You know, what are some practical AI tools that every professional should know? Whether you're a working professional, you're an entrepreneur, you're a leader, you're a mid-career, at whatever level you are, what tools do you think everyone should know?
I would just say, just learning how to prompt properly. You know, like in the old days of computer science, we used to talk about garbage in, garbage out. Okay. So if you ask a careless prompt to AI will give you a careless answer. You understand? So learning to prompt to the extent that, you know, I was just kind of delving into that at some point in time. You will ask AI to give you something, and then you now ask the AI itself to criticize its own answer and to verify that the thing is correct, you know, and ask you questions to know whether it is giving you the right answer, you know. So you can go through multiple levels of prompting so that you can really get close to what you really want. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because nowadays, when you prompt, you know, ChatGPT, for example, it has enough sense to know that it will say AI can be wrong. So be careful with what I'm giving you. So for you to be able to verify what it's doing, right? So you need to learn how to ask the right questions, you know. And there are some codes that you can add to it and say, okay, look, I want this to be human in the way it comes out, so that it's not easily seen as a, you know, computer generated stuff like that. So I'll just say, just learning how to prompt properly is key, you know. And then of late, let me just add one more thing. Just learning how to do content. How to do content. You know, I just read a few days ago of a Google engineer who had a great salary, left her job and started just teaching on YouTube and this and monetizing the thing at a very serious level. So understanding content creation, you know, using tools, using, you know, In those days, I would go, if I need a flyer for church, I would be looking for a graphic artist. No, I'm prompting to do my flyer now, and within minutes the thing is out, and I'm changing it. It's looking nice, as good as anybody could do it. So those kind of tools, content creation, and also learning to prompt properly. Those are two things I'll just say, so that Yinka will be able to add more before I say everything.
So
Okay.
yeah, thank you, Yinka. While you're answering that, practical AI tools that every professional should know. I'd like for you to also add for entrepreneurs, small businesses, how can they leverage AI to scale their businesses? Because most of us have our side hustles, right? Apart from our 9 to 5, we are building for retirement already. Sometimes it's just, started as a passion, and now we are getting some good deals from them. So in addition to mentioning a few AI tools that everyone should know, how can entrepreneurs leverage AI to compete with larger organizations? They don't have the same kind of deep pocket for advertisements and all of those things. And so how can they use AI to leverage AI to compete with bigger organizations?
Yeah, thanks, Taiwo. I think I can actually join those two together. So the truth is, in terms of tools, I would mention the usual suspects. So thank you, Pastor Banjo, at least for talking about prompting in details, because whichever of the tools you want to use, you have to prompt it properly. So I don't want to go technical here. So most of the AI we're talking about this day is LLM. So for you to use any of them, I'll probably mention ChatGPT. So if ChatGPT or Claude, if you want like reasoning model, you need something to think and reason you want to. So, but you need to learn how to prompt it properly. So you can do writing for you. It can do problem solving. Then you can also learn how to use Notion AI for organizing and summarizing documents and notes. If you want to do research, for example, and you want to cite sources, you can use Perplexity. You can go use Canva AI for, professional grade visual content. You can also decide to go maybe if you are maybe like a graphic artist, there are so many like fields you can actually go. You can go to, you can actually maybe decide to just go the Photoshop way. And within Photoshop today, there are several models within Photoshop. All you have to do is just prompt what you want, whichever model you want. If you want like a Gemini model, if you want whichever one, it's all in there. But the thing is, you have to know how to prompt it properly. If you are someone that writes codes a lot, Claude should be able to do that for you. And you should even be able to build your own agent, for example. So the second part of the question you asked was how would this help like the entrepreneurs, right? Like the small businesses. So I feel personally like the small businesses are the biggest winners of the AI boom, because what this has done to small businesses is it has given them like a pedestal to be able to compete with large businesses with several staff. For example, I know we would have read all over the news that like some predictions that we are not too far from a one-man unicorn. Some people are saying in the next 1 or 2 years, we should have a one-man company that will be worth $1 billion. So where there is really no reason why small businesses should not. So in terms of like writing proposals, business proposals, doing your feasibility studies, the AI or an agent could be, so you could just be a small business that manages different agents to do your stuff. So it's a big advantage for small businesses right now to actually leverage this AI to actually grow very well. So that's what I'll say.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. I thought I was just going to spend about 10 minutes on the career, and I've spent like 30 minutes on that already. So I'm going to pivot into talking about, AI and family life. There's a saying that children may not have been good listeners, but they are good imitators. So they watch us, they see what we do. So let's come home to the family side. And My first question is, how is AI changing the way families interact, and what opportunities are there for us as parents? Any one of you can take that first.
Okay, let me just try. Let me just chip in a little bit here, and then there may be more discussions. So, I would say that just leveraging the capacity of AI is very helpful in the family. So, for example, you can prompt your ChatGPT or whatever Gen AI tool you're used to, and discuss family vacation, for example, and say, okay, we're going on vacation. Where are the top places we can go? Compare them. Give me prices. Give me flight schedule. Like you can, with if you prompt it properly, it will discuss your vacation for you right from start to finish. The kind of plane you should go, where you should stop, places you will see. So when you're talking of, say, vacations, even a meal plan, like in those days where women will be like, okay, what are we going to eat today? What can we eat tomorrow? You can actually use AI, and tell it, okay, look, I'm a Nigerian family and we like to eat swallow. Develop a meal plan for us, from for the next 1 month, the kind of things we can eat, and you will even put what they call it. How do the meal prep plan? What they call that thing? When you Google exactly how to lay to prepare it. So just having AI at your fingertips, it helps take away the laborious tasks of just managing the home, and technically can give you more time to spend with the children, because all those things that will tire you out are taken away. Even just simple things like family devotion. You can, follow your daily plan, that AI will give you. This is what we are reading today. These are the things you should look out for, and create a study. So these are some of the things that AI can help you with, because it takes away the tough things, and then it allows you to gather and discuss some more. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Yinka, I have an interesting question for you, but if you want to touch that very briefly.
Yeah, I can touch on this very briefly. I think the question you asked was, how is AI changing the way families interact, right?
Yeah, and what opportunities it creates for us as parents.
Okay, I see 2 parts here. So definitely the obvious one is, yes, AI is changing the ways family interact. It is reshaping how attention, right? It's like attention is going around between like kids and parents. I know that, okay, sometimes my older kids will want to, probably, if we're all sitting at the table, everybody will be glued to their phone, and some algorithm from either Instagram or something is taking their attention, like pushing things to them. But the truth is, we can reshape this the positive way, just like Pastor Banjo said. So we could, rather than align everyone stay glued to their phone and all that, we could do things together, right? We could decide to learn a language together with AI, or we could, maybe during a family vacation, we could plan travel together. If you're in a new place, just ask the AI, prompt it properly. Okay, what are the most interesting places to see here, right? Give me like the best times to visit so and so. Can you create a timetable where I will be able to visit the museum or whatever? It will do a fantastic job for you. So those are ways that we can actually take advantage of this. And I think the other question you asked was, sorry, if you can remind me again.
The way it changes how families interact and the opportunities this creates for us as parents.
Oh, okay. So as parents, definitely AI can help us to become more efficient, right? It may not necessarily help the parents to become more present, but being present still requires some kind of intentional effort, right? So It would help us to listen, play together, teach, encourage, comfort, so we can actually leverage AI in a positive way to achieve these things. So that's the way I would. So we can explore the technology together. We can create a game together with AI and play together. We can, for example, in my house, we can I think we were trying to get a challenge to learn a language. So AI can actually create the syllabus and curriculum to do that. So
interesting. Awesome. All right, before I go on, I'd like to engage the audience a bit. I'm dropping a question in the chat, and for our online audience, please look at that question. What is one value that you hope technology never replaces in your family? And this put your questions in there, and I'll come back to those questions. That's where we'll round up this segment, and then we'll quickly touch on the last one. Okay, so Yinka, 2 questions for you, maybe 1.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, every family understands how, the dining and everybody has, their phone this close to glued to their faces and all of that, and children who are most likely not self-regulated because of their age get glued to their phones all the time. And to be honest, even as adults, we give the excuse that, this is how I unwind. My mental health is important to me, and I'm unwinding and relaxing, but you're glued to your phone anyway. So what should parents, what concerns should parents have regarding AI and children, and how can we help children use AI more responsibly?
This is a very, very
loaded.
It's a very deep question. So
yeah.
So I think I'll probably attack this in a practical way. So, for example, if we know that in the current age that we are, technology is at everybody's reach. So, and most of the time, if you have older kids, maybe if they're 13, 14, or 15, definitely they will have a phone. So it's not that, it's a necessity, right? So, but you can't stop them from accessing things on their phone. So, but in order not to allow them get too glued to it, or sometimes you could have things like, okay, if you're having serious conversations or family time, we shouldn't have phones with us. No devices during meals, for example. Then we could also do things like having technology-free bedrooms. It's very difficult because, but at least to help everybody level set at the end of the day. Because even as adults, you realize that, okay, sometimes you're just glued to the phone and you're, going through Instagram reels and it's suggesting the next one. You could go on Twitter, for example, for the next 1 hour before you know what's happening. Time has already gone. So, and we could also try to do more of physical family activities, that are not necessarily technology driven. Right. Then we could also, but the truth is that children would imitate your behavior, right? So if we as parents are constantly distracted, so the kids will also learn how to be distracted. So it's always we all have to lead by example also. So those are the few things I'll probably say.
Yeah.
It's very interesting in this current age and time, to be very honest. Parenting is hard.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for sharing. If anybody repeats this anywhere else, I'm gonna deny ever saying this. My mom came around for vacation and then she woke up and then she sat by her bed and she was pressing her phone nonstop for hours. And then one day back home, I called her, Alpha, and she was like, I didn't sleep well. I realized my data was going to expire in 4 days and I still have a lot of data. So I started watching YouTube Reels and Instagram. And then I'm like, these are, people in their 70s. So how much more those of us that still use AI for work and, all of those things. I'm going to ask Pastor Banjo one very serious question. I would combine it as well the way I did with Yinka. I like giving you guys loaded questions. How do we balance screen time with human connection? And should we encourage, children to use AI for school assignments. This one, I know that it's already happening. When some people don't want to use their brain at all, and they just want to just go the easy route using AI for school assignments, and I saw something on Instagram where somebody copied something and didn't even bother to change it. And the beginning, how AI will prompt and said, if you like, I can even do this and this and that. And then, and then the person copied everything word for word, and didn't bother. So how do we encourage children to balance screen time with human connection? And should we encourage, the use of AI for school assignments?
All right. So I'll start from the back. Yes, there's absolutely no way other than to use AI for some of your schoolwork. It just aids the research. There's no point going to the library and then you now start searching through 100 books just to find the answer, right? So there's no way but to use the AI. It's there, it's at your fingertips. It changes your life. It's fast, it's quick, But then the question is, one of the big things that I keep telling my kids is about discipline. All right. If you are the kind of person that always looks for the shortcut, I just want a quick answer and then I don't worry about anything, then AI is gonna hurt you more than help you. So you must learn to be disciplined with whatever it is that you're doing, right? So even with the AI, you're exerting some diligence to it, right? You are verifying your answers because AI can give you some garbage, and it will tell you that, I could be wrong, right? So you have to, understand that there's some discipline to this thing. So what I help my kids to understand is that, yes, you can use AI for your homework, but do not let it be the only thing. Let it add to your thinking, to your critical thinking. You understand? You must learn that skill of critically thinking through something beyond what just I take what I've been given and then like you gave the example. So that's one of the ways that I help them my own kids to stay grounded, to stay balanced, to use it. Now, in terms of screen time, I mean, in my house, in fact, there was a time it failed after a while when they started growing older. I would shut I have a Wi-Fi manager. The thing would just shut down all the computers and cut out no matter what device you have, at a certain time, the thing literally just cuts you out. And then these guys started getting AI savvy themselves. Computer savvy. They will now create another profile, create another device, just, So after a while, it was not as effective, right? But I would say that there is still a constant discussion, and I'm not backing down. You cannot be on the screen till 2 a.m., for example. I don't care if you don't have work the next day. I don't care if you don't have school, you're on holiday. At a certain time, you really need to shut down. And, Yinka gave an example, like, there was a time we also tried the technology-free bedroom and all of that. But now I have a bit more trust, but like, you're not watching TV, you're not playing games, you're not doing some things, right? So, okay, fine. If you want to take your phone into the room and do that, some scrolling a little bit before you sleep. But to be in the living room, walking around the place, eating and watching TV and playing games all through the night, no, we don't do that. So, we have those kind of understanding that it just has to be shut down at some point in time, and we all agree on it, and then we follow it. Sometimes, you'll see they would, try to watch when you've gone to bed, and but the rule is still there. The rule is still there.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Yes.
Yinka, I know our time is fast spent, but I'll give you both of you one last question. No explanation, just go straight to the answer. Don't show working. Yeah. What is one value you hope technology never replaces in your family? One value. If you could pick anyone, what would it be?
I'd say parenting.
Okay.
As in the
I
care
said
that comes
no.
with it.
Yeah, I said no, no working. Okay.
Okay.
Pastor Banjo.
I'll just replace, kind of say the same thing. You know, replacing your source of how will I say, guidance. You know, you cannot. AI should not be your parent. AI should not be your guidance counselor, right? Your parent should still be your authentic place to go to. Yeah, I'm tempted to just share just one thing. I remember my nephew, he had a baby and he was saying, Google is my guide for how to train this baby, change diaper, feed the baby. No, that your parent, talk to your mom and they'll tell you exactly how to train that child.
Thank you. I remember when we had our first son, my mom would start screaming that they are raising their children with internet, internet loving Tomo. But now she will send me some skimmed milk and said, oh, by the way, I Googled this and it's on LD. So me too, I now start saying the same thing. Internet loving Tommy, and it's good banter, because at the end of the day, the everything has shifted. Okay, we have just about 5 minutes more. But someone says that we are becoming more connected digitally while often feeling more disconnected emotionally. And someone else said, almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. So AI and our mental health. How do we use, just one question each, and if you can limit this to not more than a minute and a half, I would really appreciate that. So the first question, I think I'll post this to Pastor Van, just simply because, a pastor, you've seen a lot. People come to you for counseling and, mental wellness and all of that. So how can AI effectively support mental wellness? And maybe the first question is AI helping or hurting our mental health? And how can we use AI effectively to support our mental wellness?
Yeah, so it's both sides. It will help and it can hurt. It will hurt when you put pressure on yourself or information overload. You're always trying to find out this, find out that. Emails are coming at you at all. So when you too much information overload, it will just be like, oh, I'm missing out. I'm depressed. I can't keep up. So it can hurt in that way, but it can also help if you use the right way. So, for example, somebody with some mental health challenges, use AI for stress management. Use AI to guide your schedule. I know somebody who used to always miss appointments just because, not being focused. With the right application of the tools, you can actually rely on it. There's some people who don't sleep now. You can tie some machines onto your body to help you with sleep apnea and all kind of things, right? So technology is also, and AI is there to help you through those challenges. So it can help and it can also be a problem. So depending on how well you learn to use it and apply it, then you can take advantage of both worlds.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yinka, my final question to you. How can professionals avoid burnout in an always connected world? How should fathers model healthy technology habits to their children? So I'm combining this, but No, let's focus on how can professionals avoid burnout in an always connected world. Some of us, our work phones are beside us. I leave it in the basement. I don't take it upstairs, no matter what, you know. But again, how can we as professionals avoid burnout in an always connected world?
Yeah, thanks. This is a very, very serious question. So, because we see it every time at work, right? So I'll be very, very straight to the point with the answers I'm going to give you. So the first thing I'll think of is let us set boundaries. That's just the truth. Just like you said earlier, drop your phone, don't take it upstairs. When you need to sleep and rest, go and sleep and rest. No distractions. Turn off your notifications. It helps a lot. As in, because if you think, okay, I'm trying to relax or rest, then in WhatsApp message, boom, come up and you're like, okay, you have to read it. When it's like 10 o'clock or 10:30, you should have like your, do not disturb on. So even calls that are coming in, no, that's the truth. Because so if calls can't come in, you won't be forced to pick it up. Of course, except
Absolutely.
if it's an emergency. Of course, you have your emergency contacts that can bypass
Yeah.
your do not disturb. Then pick walks without devices. Sometimes if I'm really, really hot-headed at work and I'm so like at the edge, I just leave everything, go for like a 10 minutes walk. It really helps me to, calm down. I come back and maybe I'm trying to figure out why my code is not running. The first thing I will see is the problem when I get back to my desk.
When you
Then
detach.
exactly. Exercise regularly, then read physical books. I think that's another thing I'll say. So yeah, because now everything is so digital that okay, we're so used to it. Sometimes it actually helps to pick up like a real physical book. Well, that works for me. So I know sometimes my wife fights me all the time. Well, you buy too many physical books, but it's for my sanity. So and of
Absolutely.
course, set out
Thank
time
you.
for your physical relationships, time to talk to your children, your wife, your parents, set out like specific time for that. I think those are the few things I'll probably just say.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I was laughing while you were talking about disconnecting and DND. Last night, Yinka wanted to reach me. He was like, "Hey, are you still awake? Can I call?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." He called. My phone was already on DND, and he was like, "Oh, Taiwo, look at you. Your phone is in DND." And I was like, "Oh, sorry, I'll call back." And I called back, and his phone was already in DND as well. And we had a good laugh, and then we now deliberately, called each other. Thank you very much, Yinka and Pastor Banjo, for everything you've shared tonight. I know we can't fully exhaust this topic and we have to round up now. Thank you so much for your time. And for my final reflection, I'd like to say that AI may transform the tools we use, but it should never replace the values we live by. And that was why I asked that question about what values do we, want to make sure AI does not replace in our families. AI may transform the tools we use, but it should never replace the values we live by. And the future will not belong to those who resist change, not to those who blindly embrace it. It will belong to those who will learn, adapt, and lead with wisdom. So to every father, every mentor, every uncle, every grandfather, and every father figure joining us tonight, thank you for helping shape not just the next generation, but thank you. Thank you for all you do, to shape the future that they will inherit. Happy Father's Day to every one of us. Thank you. And at this point, I will hand over to Lady Abba for the closing remarks so that we can disconnect from all these devices and and lead by example. Like I always say, I don't believe in leadership by instruction. I believe in leadership by example. So Lady Abba, over to you, ma.
So thank you very much. I mean, a lot has been said, but we all know that technology has really made a lot of things easy for us, like even meeting like this, even connecting worldwide. It has increasingly made the world a global village. Everybody knows what everybody else is doing. But thank you so much, Pastor Banjo. One of the things you said, and I always say that, is having, having a culture of continuous learning. You can never stop learning. Every day that we live, we need to learn. So thank you so much for all that you shared. I love the part that you said buying physical books, Yinka. And it's true. We're saying we want to read, and then we're still using technology. We're not disconnecting. We're still connected, right? Thank you for all the insights that you shared. How our esteemed TJ Rich Dad, all those wise words that you were just dropping, you just become a philosopher. But this was really, really an amazing session. We will, for everybody else that is now here, we're going to post this on YouTube so you have access to go over what has been shared and learn from it. I mean, there's always wisdom in multitude of people. No one man knows it all. So really from CAP, we're truly, truly grateful. I always say that there's nothing outside there in Canada that we do not have in our community. And this just shows that. Thank you so much for your time, for your leadership, for sharing all these amazing tidbits with us tonight. We are truly, truly grateful. And we know we can't repay you, but this is history in the making. Generations unborn will thank you for all these things that you've shared. So thank you, and let's unplug.
Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing evening.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.